Expert teaches locals about promoting one of our valley's biggest attractions. Good evening, I'm Roxanne Vainuku.
And I'm Sten Wallstrom. Thank you for joining us tonight at 5. Some scary moments for a semi-truck driver this afternoon.
Authorities say his load shifted, causing his truck to roll.
And took the exit to loop around to North 1st Street, Interstate 82, and it was going a little too fast and tipped over.
3-year-old driver from North Dakota was leaving town with a truck loaded with apples. Traffic was slowed for a little while due to the rollover and another accident on Highway 12 near the I-82 interchange. No one was hurt, and authorities say they don't believe alcohol was a factor in this accident.
One of the victims from a southeast Yakima house fire remains in critical condition tonight, while the other is improving. Investigators say the blaze started on a mattress in one of the bedrooms at 809 East Arlington, broke out shortly after 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Finding the exact cause might be difficult, but fire officials say a lot of cigarette ashes were found at the scene. 74-year-old Spencer Davis remains in critical condition tonight, suffering from smoke inhalation and burns. His wife, Willie, was upgraded to satisfactory condition. Authorities say both patients have existing health problems that are complicating their recoveries. Well, we could be in for a big change to our mild weather.
That's right. Stu joins us a little bit early tonight. What's this, a winter storm warning?
In the Cascades, not for us here in the valley. It's in the Cascades. You know, we've said we need more snowfall in the Cascades.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're watching out in the Pacific, a system that's really wrapping up. Strong low-pressure system in the Gulf of Alaska, a long fetch of moisture with a cold front that'll be sweeping on across the area. This thing is tapped into some good subtropical moisture and will be headed for the Cascades. Initially, snow levels will be around 4,000 feet tomorrow, but they'll gradually be dropping down to around 3,000 feet. So for the Cascades, winter storm warning for the central and northern Cascades tomorrow afternoon through Friday afternoon. 12 to 24 inches of new snow by Friday afternoon, and that snow expected to start kicking in about midday tomorrow. What we'll get out of that system will be the wind and maybe a chance of some rain.
But that would be welcome to have that snow up there.
Oh, we need the snow up there now. And gee, skiers are going to be smiling this weekend.
Yeah,
oh,
thanks for the early word on that, Stu. Appreciate it. Efforts to expand Eastern Washington's economic opportunities internationally are getting a boost from the Lieutenant Governor.
KIMA's David Mancy spoke today with Brad Owen on efforts to give more international exposure to our region. David?
Well, Senator Roxanne, the Lieutenant Governor tells us that he's trying to show consulates from other countries that our region is a great place to do business. Owen spoke today with local business, education, and service leaders for a closed-door informal meeting in Yakima this afternoon. Owen says the group is working to form a program that will bring consulates to Eastern Washington to see what our region has to offer. He says we have a lot more than just agriculture to offer the world.
We're pretty certain that they don't know a whole heck of a lot about Eastern Washington, so that could be educational opportunities, that could be wine country, that could be agricultural products, high tech. We have a firm here, right here in Yakima, that does business with Boeing. The west side.
Owen also met with business leaders from the Tri-Cities and Walla Walla to get their input for the program. He hopes to finalize the program by this fall. Live in the newsroom, I'm David Mancy reporting.
All right, thanks a lot, David, for that report.
David, thank you. The Washington wine industry continues to grow by leaps and bounds, and promoting and marketing the wine is key. It can also be one of the biggest challenges the industry faces. Leading expert was in Yakima addressing those challenges to a group of advertising execs this afternoon. Many awards have been given to several Washington wines, including several here in Yakima.
Yakima is a big player. This is actually the Yakima Valley Appalachian's 20th anniversary. They were the first appellation in the state of Washington, and they're working very hard to bring additional tourism into Yakima Valley for people to come and see what they consider the heart of Washington wine country right here in Yakima Valley. So, yeah.
And the number of Washington wineries has tripled over the last 7 years.
Some Yakima City Council members are in Olympia today to make sure your voice gets heard on Capitol Hill. It's the Association of Washington Cities Legislative Conference, a chance for our local leaders to take a close look at legislative issues affecting Yakima.
The rules around annexation and how we get to annex. In addition to that, the extension of sewer services or water services. Those are the big issues that are before us.
Another top priority for the council is getting better funding for Yakima. They say cities are being asked to do more with less, and it's getting harder to provide needed services. Council members hope this visit will help keep Yakima in the funding loop.
Man caught with stolen property from a high-profile home invasion robbery says he is guilty of the crime. Glenn Dawkins faces 4 months in jail, but he gets credit for time served since November. Dawkins was caught with a credit card belonging to Violet Alvarez. She was one of the victims in a pair of home invasion robberies that happened in November. Alvarez later died, but the man accused of robbing her, Dwayne Kozlowski, was found guilty last week, could be sentenced to more than 25 years. Dawkins was caught with the credit card when police moved in on a house where Kozlowski was hiding out. And as expected, police will not pursue murder charges in the case of a baby who died last month. A 14-month-old girl was reported dead back on January 11th at a home in the 600 block of South 15th Avenue. Her mother and her mother's boyfriend did not report that death for 10 days. Police were suspicious, but the medical examiner was unable to find evidence of any foul play in an autopsy. Final toxicology reports back up that finding.
A convicted sex offender who only moved to Yakima 3 weeks ago is on the move again. 34-year-old David Wilson was released from prison late last month after serving time for child molestation. After living in the 400 block of North 7th Street in Yakima for a few weeks, he's moving to the 1800 block of Grant Avenue. Wilson's crimes involve young boys. He is considered at high risk to reoffend, but he's not currently wanted for any crime.
Students at LaSalle High School in Union Gap are not only talking about making a difference, they're actually doing it in all parts of the world. 11 students recently returned from a Seattle urban immersion project. The group helped tutor children at a homeless shelter and also volunteered at a soup kitchen. Students say the project changed them.
It was so inspirational. The children there and how happy they were was just wow for me. And the volunteers totally opened my eyes. Just seeing them working and living there was complete inspiration.
School also travels yearly to an Indian reservation in Browning, Montana to help Blackfeet Indians, and then also to Tijuana, Mexico to help serve the poor in that region. Hundreds of students stayed up late last night at Central Washington University. At midnight, hundreds of the students got room assignments for the newly restored Kamola Hall, a prized possession. Many of them waited for hours. So why all the hype? Kamola is part of a historic part of the campus, built in the 1920s. The residence hall has evolved throughout the years. Right now, it's undergoing a major facelift to restore it to its original splendor. Many students are attracted to that retro styling, but the major draw seems to be special interest housing. Students who choose to live in the arts wing, the flight technology wing, or several other areas designated for special interests. Kamola also boasts the only soundproof music room on campus.
Actually in music, and I just love what I do, and sharing that experience is really good times.
And last night, people actually camped out to save their spots in line. Everyone who gets a room will move in when it's all ready to go, but that won't be until early next fall.
It's on the TV, in the papers, and at the family dinner table. Talk of war seems inescapable these days. It's a lot to digest, even for an adult. But imagine what kids must be thinking. In tonight's Family Watch, we get some tips on how to talk to your little ones about war. Someone once said that war is never so ugly as when you explain it to children. And these days, parents have a lot of explaining to do.
I think that they don't even really know what war is. I mean, I think their definition of war would be like Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner and that.
War can be a tough topic for parents to explain, and even harder for kids to understand.
I'd say that there is bad people that have done bad things, and that we have to sometimes do things like fight when normally we wouldn't. It's kind of a hard thing to explain.
But parents can calm fears without overloading kids with information.
You want to avoid specific details, especially with younger children, unless they come up to you and ask you very graphic questions. When you're explaining it, you want to try to avoid some of that. But you want to make sure you're honest, because the minute you're dishonest about something and the child finds out, you no longer have credibility.
So how much is too much? Peggy lets her kids take the lead.
If they had a question, we'd answer it, but other than that, we haven't really talked to them about it.
And that may be the best approach.
A common mistake adults usually make is to offer an overwhelming amount of information, and then oftentimes we can stress out the child by giving them too many details.
Up in the air feet, over a chair feet. There is.
If your children are worried about war, take time out to talk to them and let them know that they are safe. Giving children that sense of security allows them to focus on the real thing they should be thinking about, being a kid. If there's a family issue you'd like us to address on Family Watch, write to us or call us here at KIMA. You can also email us at tvnews@kimatv.com. Burns also says parents need to remember to take care of themselves. She says kids pick up on parent stress, and that can affect how kids feel. Still ahead, there are more products than ever for carting children around, but how do you make the right choice?
And why our state's largest skydiving school is under investigation.
Your programming is being interrupted to bring you this special report on Chevy trucks. Now get at least $2,500 cash back or 0% APR financing on the entire lineup of rugged, durable 2003 Chevy pickups, SUVs, and vans. That's $2,500 cash back or 0 APR. An easy mission for anyone to accomplish. $2,500 cash back on Chevy trucks. Down the street at your local Chevy dealer.
We want to change the way you feel about long distance.
Announcing new long distance service from Quest.
We asked what you want, and we've been listening.
Here's the proof. New plans designed for the way you call.
Introducing Quest Long Distance for Washington. Call 1-866-QUEST-LD for great rates by the minute if you talk a little, or by the month if you talk a lot. Call 1-866-QUEST-LD or visit us online.
We've got new plans at Quest.
All designed for you.
That's our spirit of service. Quest.
When these children are ready for college, the cost of 4 years may exceed $120,000. That's why so many families are investing in Washington's Guaranteed Education Tuition Program.
With GET, we've locked in the cost of tomorrow's college tuition today.
I like GET because it's guaranteed and it grows tax-free.
Our kids can use their GET accounts at any college in the country.
Get started today. Call or visit the website. Enroll by March 31st.
What's Papa Murphy's real pizza deal? Dough made fresh daily, always. The highest quality ingredients? Oh yeah! Freshly grated cheese? Naturally. That hot out of your oven, home-baked taste? You got it. So what are you gonna pay for a large pepperoni pizza? $12.99? $8.99? No way. Right now, get a large pepperoni loaded with cheese for just $5.99. Family size it for just $2 more. The real pizza deal. Papa Murphy's Take and Bake. Pizza chain of the year.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Chrysler.
Well, the state's largest skydiving school is under fire for a list of possible safety violations.
The Federal Aviation Administration is investigating the business on the west side. Chris Halsney with what he's uncovered.
Plowing out the door of a plane and plunging to the earth at 130 miles per hour is a way of life for some adventuresome souls. Kyle Robinson was one of those.
He loved it. He had two great loves in his life, and that was his two daughters. He was a single parent. And skydiving. And they came in that order.
Kyle's dad, Bill, is talking in the past tense. In May of 1995, Kyle died at Kapowsin Airfield in Graham. Witnesses say his brand new chute collapsed 300 feet off the ground. Today, the Robinson family still wonders what went wrong.
Did he know he was doing something wrong? Had he been instructed properly? You've got to have safety rules to survive and to keep going. If you don't follow them, you increase your risk.
Kapowsin Air Sports won't comment on Kyle's death. However, a Cairo Team 7 investigation uncovered a pattern of fatal accidents and injuries which far exceeds the norm. Based on statistics from the U.S. Parachute Association, the Kapowsin Jump School's death rate is nearly 4 times the national average since Kyle's death. Commercial pilot Jeff Dow says he has witnessed what he calls dozens of unsafe incidents at Kapowsin Air Sports.
And it is dangerous. It's dangerous flying out here. I've been in close calls with these people when you try and fly in the normal traffic patterns, which are established for safety, and they don't. And the mixture is not a good one.
Owners of Kapowsin Air Sports did talk about the investigation on the phone, but asked that conversation not be a part of the story.
Stu's back kind of to elaborate on that winter storm warning, not for us necessarily, but for the mountains.
No, not for us, but it's for the Cascades, and it's going to be good for water next summer. It's going to be good for skiers, not so good for motorists, because not only are they expecting a lot of snow starting tomorrow afternoon, then on into Friday, as much as maybe 12 to 24 inches worth by Friday afternoon. It'll also be getting windy up there as well. Northwest Infonet's ICAM is taking a look at sunset. About to begin over the Yakima Valley. Sunset this evening is at 5:33 p.m. Now, taking a look at what we have outside now, 48 degrees at Yakima, the Tri-Cities with 51, Spokane with 42, Seattle 47, and Portland with 46 degrees. A fairly weak system moving kind of around the Pacific Northwest today, giving us a little bit of a break. We've had a few light showers here and there around the valley and along the east slopes of the Cascades, but most of the moisture has moved around us to the south. They've been reporting some heavy rain over parts of northern California. It'll be partly cloudy for us. Could see an isolated shower tonight. Doppler radar has picked up a few. Looks like around the Columbia Gorge now, moving on through parts of the lower valley in Klickitat County. Partly cloudy weather on tap for tomorrow. Overnight low tonight 30. Tomorrow's high temperature making it up to around 50, and it's going to get to be windy in areas, especially by tomorrow afternoon. We're going to miss out on the snow coming in with that system off the Pacific. It's going to stay around the Cascades, but nevertheless, we're going to see a chance for some shower activity around the east slopes of the Cascades by later tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. Main thing with this system is that it's coming at us from the west. It's got a fairly strong low pressure development as well, so we're going to get some pretty strong westerly winds. That's going to enhance the rain shadow effect of the Cascades, so that'll block a lot of moisture from reaching us. Unfortunately, it won't be blocking the wind. So the areas of the state affected by this strong low pressure system front and that long fetch of moisture headed way out toward the subtropics will be the west side of the mountains and then on up into the Cascades. And in the Cascades, it'll be mainly the central and northern Cascades that'll be in for the heaviest snow. Looks as though the farther north you go in the Cascades, the more snow you will be finding. It's the mid-Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley, parts of the Tennessee Valley in store with precipitation tonight, mostly in the form of rain. Some sections getting pretty close to an inch of rain. Elsewhere across the country, pretty quiet, except for that system in California that's been producing some pretty heavy rain. Temperature-wise around the country, 40 in New York City for their high, 52 in Kansas City, 61 in Los Angeles, and Miami, 82 degrees. Breezy areas on tap for tomorrow. For tonight, we'll see a chance for some isolated showers, otherwise partly cloudy. Overnight lows in the upper 20s to lower 30s. Tomorrow, reaching into the low to mid-50s with partly cloudy skies and those windy areas developing up in the Cascades. We're expecting the snow to start occurring there about tomorrow afternoon. Breezy areas too around Spokane. They'll see a better chance of rain with a high around 40. And it's up in the Cascades. Winter storm warning. Central and North Cascades tomorrow afternoon through Friday afternoon. Snow level starting out about 4,000 feet, but then it'll be dropping down pretty rapidly. Breezy on the west side of the mountains too. Blustery and kind of windy and wet with about 50 degrees for the high temperature there.
Be careful if you're driving that way.
Thank goodness for the Cascades. They're blocking the real heavy rain from reaching us.
All right, Stu, thank you for that. Consumer news tonight for a parent with two small kids. A double stroller, often the best way to get them around town. There are more of these strollers than ever, they say, because there are more twins being born. Consumer Reports just took a look to find the best, and KIMA's Mike McCabe has the results.
Tom Whitman has two daughters, and his double stroller is essential in getting them to and from daycare. More and more double strollers are being made for families with twins, or two kids that are too young to do a lot of walking on their own. Consumer Reports just looked at 9 double strollers, including ones from McLaren, Graco, and Colcraft. There are side-by-side and tandem strollers. Tester John Banta says they each have pros and cons.
Side-by-side strollers are easier to maneuver, but sometimes they're difficult to get through doorways because they're a little bit wider. The tandems, they're narrower, so they're easier to get through doorways, but because of their length, they're harder to get up curbs.
This machine tests durability, simulating 50 miles of use over a bumpy sidewalk. Not all the strollers survived intact. This one from Costco broke a spring in the suspension system. Another test assessed how well the strollers took a turn. This one from Graco ran into problems. When all the tests were done, Consumer Reports found 2 to recommend. If you're looking for a side-by-side stroller, consider the top-rated Baby Trend Expedition. It cost $170. If you prefer a tandem stroller, the Graco Duo Glider 7930BK is a good choice at a good price. It costs $150. Both can give your little ones a safe, smooth ride. This is Mike McCabe reporting.
Thank you, Mike. Still to come, how a Northwest broom maker, apparently there is a profession of just broom maker, he is sweeping his way into Hollywood history now.
First, though, a look at tonight's CBS Evening News lineup.
Tonight with Marines in the Army in Kuwait, 2 CBS News exclusives, an interview with the commander of U.S. ground forces, and a close-up look at Apache helicopters. Tonight's CBS Evening News from Kuwait.
Jeep announces the best values in America. Now's the time to get great products like the 2003 award-winning Jeep vehicles. Great protection, our fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty, and great deals, up to $2,500 cash allowance or 0% financing on all 2003 Jeep vehicles. Great products, great protection, great deals, all add up to the best values in America. Hurry to your Jeep dealer for details or visit Jeep.com.
Kramer's Home Center is celebrating their Serta mattress blowout sale. Serta's best-selling Supreme Pillow Top Queen set now for just $399.99, regularly priced at $649.99. Incredible savings on the entire mattress department. King-size mattress and box springs starting at only $399.99. Full-size mattresses starting at a low $139.99, or twin-size mattresses starting at $69.99. 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments for 1 year. Low prices going on now in the mattress department. Hurry in for the best selection and prices at Kramer's Home Center, 222 South 1st Street.
Sun Tower Assisted Living Community is a nonprofit facility that has been serving the Yakima Valley for over 34 years. Sun Tower's caring staff is devoted to providing health care monitoring, assistance with medications, help with daily living activities, and 24-hour staffing is available with a registered nurse on call. We also accept residents on Medicaid to better serve you. At Sun Tower, we offer daily group activities and entertainment for our residents. Sun Tower, your future for successful living. Call or stop by today for more information.
You never know when a 10-year-old will move you. An unknown singer will break through, or a comic will bring down the house.
Hilarious!
One show discovered them. Now it's back, and bigger than ever.
Oh, yeah!
It's the all-new Star Search. With new comedians, new singers, and a special new category. Celebrity judges will have their say, but we still have to hear from you. America has the final vote. Join Arsenio for the Star Search premiere, live CBS tonight.
On Wall Street, stocks pulled back a little bit as profit-taking followed the market's 2-session rally.
Here's a look at tonight's After the Bell report.
Stocks fell for the first day in 3 after gaining ground in the beginning of the week. Drug and telecom stocks led the declines in the markets. And shares of local phone companies like Verizon fell after the LA Times reported the government won't relax rules, forcing the carriers to give competitors access to their systems. Now at the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 40 points, the S&P 500 fell 6, and the Nasdaq slid 12 points. And Wachovia agreed to acquire Prudential Financial's brokerage for individual investors. That combination will create the 3rd biggest U.S. broker by assets. Wachovia said it will cut about 1,700 jobs and close 131 offices by 2005 as it combines its retail brokerage and clearing businesses with Prudential's. Wachovia will own 62% and Prudential will own 38% of the new company. Tomorrow, all eyes are on the retail sector as JCPenney, Target, Nordstrom, and Radio Shack all report their quarterly earnings. And that's the latest business news. I'm Deborah Costrin with the Bloomberg After the Bell report.
The original Whopper sandwich at Burger King, America's favorite burger, with flame-broiled beef, fresh lettuce and ripe tomatoes, and with fries and a drink, it's the ultimate value meal. Right now, get the original Whopper Junior Value Meal with medium fries and drink for just $1.99. The original Whopper Value Meal with medium fries and drink for just $2.99. Or the original Double Whopper Value Meal with medium fries and drink for just $3.99. only at Burger King, home of the Whopper.
Explore your world with the Discovery Channel. Then immerse yourself in it with Discovery.com. Train with astronauts. Build your own pyramid. Track Earth's changes in real time and more. But to get the most out of it, you need the power of Charter Pipeline high-speed cable internet service. Get instant access to the internet and no waiting for dial-up. So explore your world faster than ever with Discovery.com and Charter Pipeline.
Order today and the rates guaranteed till 2004.
Bravo, Green Baron. Bravo.
After the accident, we discovered that the other driver did not have any insurance. I was injured, out of work, and my car was wrecked. I called Abeta Nelson. They arranged to have my insurance company pay my medical bills, fix my car, and pay my lost wages. I want to thank them for protecting my rights and for understanding the pressure an accident can cause. It's refreshing to find a law firm that cares about me.
Are two heads better than one?
B, London, Finland.
Final answer.
I hear an echo here.
The hot seat gets crowded when Meredith welcomes sets of twins from all over the country.
I think Hawaiian Punch is that picture. Are you kidding? That's Kool-Aid. Are you kidding? Stupid?
Am I sensing a little tension here?
You'll have twice the fun.
Do you two think alike?
Sometimes.
With Twins Week on Millionaire.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Tonight at 7 on KIMA.
Much more news to come tonight at 6 o'clock.
Let's get a preview with Craig in the newsroom.
Okay, new at 6, Protecting Your Child. It's part 3 of our special series. Tonight, one local man teaches his son about gun safety. Also, would you get a smallpox vaccination? That's kind of the talk of the town. We hit the streets to find out. And also, we find out what young people considering life in the military think about their futures. We'll have all of that and more at 6. Back to you.
Craig, thank you. An Oregon man sweeping his way into Hollywood history.
Warren Olney is a broom maker, quickly finding his niche on the big screen. He and his 95-year-old father actually made the Nimbus 2000. That's the broom flown by Harry Potter in the recent Warner Brothers films. Olney's father discovered a passion for broom making in the 1970s, which he handed down to his son, who handed it over to Hollywood.
Somebody has to make it, and it's kind of amazing that all this sequence of events wound up with working with a movie studio on an internationally known story and book.
The father-son team has made brooms for 5 films in the past year, which they take quite a bit of pride in. They don't know yet which brooms will be used or how, so they're looking forward to watching each of the films to find out. And you thought brooms grew on trees.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Those look like high-quality brooms,
it's a
though.
nice broom.
There are such a thing. CBS News is next.